Welcome to creating labels from an rlpSPHERE hashtag. This is our Royal LePage Learning Services tutorial. We know that many of you like to send greeting cards and or calendars in the mail, and this tutorial will help you create mailing labels, but we would also like to take the opportunity to mention that handwritten envelopes do have more impact. However, the decision is yours to make, of course. So let's get down to business. The first thing we'll do is log into rlpSPHERE and assign the hashtag holiday card to contacts we want to send a card to. Then we're going to export that group of people to create our CSV file. You can use that to handwrite your envelopes or use a free service such as Avery Labels. And I don't mean to promote Avery exclusively here, but it's simply the one I will use to demonstrate how this works. So here I am. I've already logged into rlpSPHERE and I'm on the dashboard where we always land when we log in. And I come down to Smart CRM where all my contacts live. And what I want to do now is, select the people I want to send a card to. Now, if I wanted to send it to everybody, I would simply click the top checkbox, see how they all get highlighted, and I'd be done. But I'm going to go through my list. Now, the default view is set to 20 rows. Okay, so when you come here, it'll say 20 rows. You might want to change that to 100 at a time, depending on how large your database is, right? So I would be now going down my list and I would simply check all the people I want to send a card to. So I'm going to send it to Carrie, to Hillary, to John, to Nick. You get the idea. When I'm ready, I come up to where it says More Actions. And when I click on that, the second option is Add Hashtag. So simple as that. So my hashtag holiday card is what I want to add here, and I press enter and I see the little green tag, so that means it's taken, and now I say update tag, so these people will now have that tag. So if I scroll down, I might see that some of them actually they have a lot of different hashtags because one person can have multiple hashtags. You can create subgroups, all kinds of subgroups. So I want to get rid of everyone who does not have the hashtag called holiday card. So how would I do that? I come up to the top and I'm going to filter my database here. And I know where it is, but when you're learning this, you'll probably have to dig a little bit. I'm going past the top section, going down to lead details, and I select hashtags. So I'm going to filter by the hashtag called holiday card. And then I apply the filter. And in a moment, the people that are left are the ones who are in my group called holiday card. So that's it. I've got the people I want to send a card to. So now how do I export them into that CSV file that I'm going to need for my Avery labels? Well, you go back up to More Actions. And that's one of the actions, is to export your contacts. And when I click on that, it tells me it's going to export a total of 4. That's probably a good number to jot down somewhere because you'll want to coordinate how many labels you need and all that. And in your case, it's probably going to already show your email address, but we have multiple test accounts around here, so I'm just going to change the email there, but yours will probably be the address you want them to go to. So they email you the file. So I'm going to say export. And by the way, exporting is not taking them out. So we're not taking out these contacts. We're making a copy of them. And it tells me here, your export has been queued. So I will go and check my email, which may already be open. And I should see it. There it is, right at the top. So let me select that. And it's from no reply at rlpSPHERE, and it tells me I can download right here. So I click the download link and it'll go into my download section of my computer, but there's a shortcut down here at the bottom, so I'll tap on that. And sure enough, let me bring it over to show you. There are all my leads. Now I only have 4, like I said, but when you do this for real, you'll have all the people you want to send your cards to. One more thing I want to mention before we leave this file is that it has created an Excel file, but that's because I have Excel. That's what opened it. If I don't have Excel, I can easily open this with Google Sheets. That's one of the free programs we get with our Gmail account and our Google Suite. Okay. The other thing I want to say is this file here has a way more columns than we're going to need in our label to create our labels, right? It's everything that came in from rlpSPHERE. So there's all kinds of columns here we don't need. So you'll see when we get into the label program that we can just select the columns that we need, okay, and make sure they match up. So we'll show you that when we get to the other side. Okay, so here I am in my browser, and I've typed in avery.ca, so I want the Canadian version of this, and I scroll down and I see an option to print myself or let them print it for me. I'm going to use the print it yourself feature. And now when I scroll down, I see address and shipping labels, so that's what I want. And because I haven't been here before, I need to create a free account. And I will do just that and fill in the required information. I need to make a password and confirm the password. And then it tells me some information, and I need to then create an account. Result from login. Okay. Now this happened to me once before, and it does perhaps want me to go to the privacy section. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have a checkbox, but I think it sort of works this way. If I now go back and go to address labels, it'll let me in. Yeah, it's letting me in. So it didn't confirm the fact that it was a successful operation, but it was. So here I am, and I'm now ready to create my labels. So you'll notice top right, 117 templates to choose from, right? So you're going to need to see what kind of labels you want to use. I'm going to pretend that I have a box of 5160s in my office supplies, and that's the one I want. Okay, so I tap or click on that, and it says select this template. And now I have 1,800 or so designs to choose from. And now I'm not going to waste our time here. I'm just going to, because I'm doing a mail merge, I just like a blank because I don't want the type to be, on top of some image that I didn't line up properly or something like that. I'm just going to keep it simple here. So if you want to go ahead and put in some images, you can, but let's keep it simple for our demo purposes. And now it's asking me, so whatever you're about to create here, are you creating it just for this top label, or are you creating it for all of them? So I'm going to say edit all, and that should close. No? Okay, I'll close it. And over here on the left is where I start to enter the content, right? So I'm going to add a text box, and I'm going to, make it nice and big. Okay, so that's where my data will go, and I can decide on what type of font and all this formatting decisions I can make. Again, I'm keeping this simple. And see how we're in the top section? I can come down to the image section, which I'm not going to do, and I can come down to the start import merge, which we do. Okay, so this is how it's going to go get my CSV file. Now, before I started, I want to show you it says here, get a sample spreadsheet. So I click on that and let's open that up. Now it opened it in Excel because I have Excel, but it could also open it in Google Sheets. And you'll see later I'll have a choice of choosing Google Sheets as well. So look, see how we have only columns A to H, but our CSV has a lot more than this. Okay, so if I go get our CSV file, which I ended up putting in this folder here. Okay, look at this. Our CSV file has, you know, remember I said it's very wide. It has a lot of data here. So I don't need them all, right? I only need these 4 columns. So what do? Well, you have a couple choices. You can simply go make sure that these 4 columns exist in the same kind of exact same type of heading, or you can paste in the content from your other file into this file. So I think I'm gonna do that. I'll show you my finished result in a second. Okay, so for you it was a second, but for me, I did time myself. This took me 2 minutes, okay? So what I did is I just went and got the information from these columns out of that big, long backup CSV that I created from rlpSPHERE. So I just went and copied those columns and then I put them in here. Now, I don't use salutation, but if you do, this is where Mr., Ms., Mrs., Doctor, all that kind of stuff would go. And in my example here, my fake contacts did not have a second address line like unit numbers and such, but you might have some stuff there, okay? So now I'm ready with my file. I'm just going to save it. Actually, I didn't do that. Maybe I'll save it as something on my Google Drive because I want to show you that you can either upload or you can go get something that's on your Google Drive. So I might just do that. I hope I'm not complicating anything here, but let me just go put this in my drive and I'll make a folder called labels and I'll go put that in there. Okay, so there it is, and I'm going to call this holiday card file. And I could tell myself that I did this for 2020 and save it. Okay, so I can use this next year. I won't have to do this whole. Well, I'll be updating the contacts. Probably I'll have a lot more contacts. So anyways, here we go. So I'm gonna close that for now, and I'm back in Avery. Let's go back to my Avery site. All right. So what did we just do? We went to sample spreadsheet and then I created mine. I'm ready to go. So I say start my import and see how it says browse for files. So I could go anywhere in my computer, but I also wanted to show you that you can store things on Google Drive to get there. So if you have your Google Sheets file there, that's what you could do. So why don't I do that and show you. This will probably be a bit slower than if I had just said upload though. Okay, so here we are. Holiday card file that I just created. I open that. And it says choose the rows and columns you want to print. So I already know that I want everybody. Oh, look at that. I could have just picked the columns I wanted instead of. Yeah, that's okay. The nice thing about this is I know that my file is complete and perfect, but I could have, see how it says just go through and pick the columns you want? I could have done it that way. That was probably easier. Anyways, here, let's go say next. and it wants me to put in the fields. So double click or drag the field names from the available fields column on the left into the label placeholder area on the right. So I'm not using a salutation, so I'm just going to put first name, last name, street address 1, street address 2. It's kind of satisfying to kind of build it. City, province, do I want to put that beside there somewhere? And postal code down by itself at the bottom. Okay, kind of cool. Say next. Finish mail merge. Yeah, I'm pretty much ready to finish. And what it should do is show me a preview. So let's preview. Let's go look at that. Warning, the text is outside the safe area, may be cut off. I better fix that. Okay, so let's see, safe area and text. It's kind of close, so let me bring that up a touch. There we go. It's nice that it does all that for me. Print preview. All right, now remember I only had 5 people, but this is where you would see perhaps, 7 pages all filled up or something like that. So in my case, my labels are done. I say print it yourself, and you just send it to the printer and make sure that you put in your labels and facing in the right direction. Maybe you do one sheet of paper first. Okay. So I hope you've enjoyed creating labels from an rlpSPHERE hashtag and that it comes in handy for you. If you do have additional questions, reach out to help@rlpSPHERE or call 1-877-757-4545. Thanks.